We rest in our essence, which is already divine. It's already pure. It doesn't need any addition to it. It doesn't need anything to change. It doesn't need to avoid anything. And it doesn't need anything added to it. So when we rest in this place and see life from this place, from our own beauty, from our own depth, from our own wisdom, from our own quiet, and there's no real problem. Of course, there'll be situations that we have to deal with, but there's no real problem. But as soon as we're in our mind and we take our mind to be the truth of reality, then we suffer. And we suffer, real quickly. I mean, this thing can happen in milliseconds. The beautiful thing about resting in awareness is we already have this. It's already who we are. Our very thoughts arise out of awareness. Our whole life takes place in awareness. All our insanity happens within this beautiful awareness. From one point of view, we could never not be aware. So the invitation is to give ourselves to this fully, to this place that thought arises out of, to this quiet, to this peace, to this simplicity. To give ourselves to it and then live life from that place. So as I was reflecting on this teaching, I had a pretty busy week this last week, and had a lot of people, I don't know how to quite say this, but a lot of people say we're not happy with me, struggling with me, fighting with me, or however you want to put it. And not that there was anything wrong with what they wanted. That's not what I'm saying here. But it was, but my reaction was the only thing in the situation that I could really control. And as I saw that, this person came forward, and she wanted me to do this different or that different. My daughter came forward numerous times and wanted to make it really clear that I am not the best dad. The funny thing, we've had such a beautiful run for about 10 years now, and she's just getting to the point where Dad's not so cool anymore. So she has given me a hard time. Some real difficulties with clients. Some real difficulty with family members. And again, in no way am I saying that they were wrong or bad or anything like that. But as they brought something to me, and a lot of it was stuff that I very much needed to change, that I was, being foolish or whatever it was. I saw this thought come forward. It's even bigger than a thought. It's almost like a function of our mind. I often teach that when we look at the mind, one of the main things the mind does is look for problems. What this other teacher I was listening to today is saying a little different. He says there's this I need thought. So as people were coming to me, whether it was my daughter, we drove all the way to Silverton yesterday, and as soon as we got there, her I need thought was, something to the extent of this sucks. I want to go home. And here we are, we drove all the way to Silverton. So that was her I need thought. My I need thought was, I need you to behave and just enjoy yourself while we're here in the beautiful mountains. And as long as I hold that tightly, I'm going to suffer. So from a bigger perspective, can I be okay fully with her with a 10-year-old giving me a hard time. Can I be okay with that? Can I relax with that? Can I relax in my own essence? If I relax in my mind says, she needs to change so Dad can be happy. She needs to, what would a dad say? Knock it off. Isn't that what our dads say to us? Knock it off. My dad said something different. My dad was more like, let's end the bullshit or something. Is what my dad would say. So inside, I really wanted her to knock it off. But she's her own person, and she's going to do her own thing. And we can't ask that of others to, hey, can you snap out of it? Nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot of life that we don't control. I'd be a fool to say that I can control my children. I can try. But with all these factors that we can't control, it's funny because we can't control it. We know we can't control it. We tend to fail at controlling it again and again and again and again. Yet we continually try to control life. It's one of the functions of the ego is to try to control life. So then the invitation becomes, can we be bigger than this? Can we relax into our own already perfect nature and be okay with whatever life brings us? Can we be that simple?